So one of the questions that we get asked at Best is why Best range hoods? Why Best versus any of the other brands out there? And our answer inevitably comes down to the Guaranteed Performance System, or GPS, which is part of the IQ blower system, which by now you probably realize the I stands for intelligent and the Q stands for quiet. IQ with Guaranteed Performance System really is why Best. The whole reason we're here today watching this video is for us to be able to show you actually how that works. We can explain the calibration system, we can talk about it, but really being able to show you how the IQ system works, how the Guaranteed Performance System works, and showing you how it compares to other blower systems that are on the market really is impactful in helping you understand the IQ blower system with Guaranteed Performance System. We're actually going to show you how a Best range hood with the IQ blower system actually compares to two other hoods. So we've got here one of our Best range hoods with the IQ blower system and the Guaranteed Performance System on board, high pressure blower with the Guaranteed Performance System. We're going to show you how that works on 3 different ducting runs that we'll get into in just a moment. We're also going to show you how a competitive hood with a standard high pressure blower performs on those same 3 ducting runs. And then we're going to show you how a competitive hood with a low pressure blower works on those same 3 ducting runs. Here's how we're going to do our competitive comparison. We're going to put each of those 3 hoods on this counter, and hooked up to that hood is going to be about 4 feet of 8-inch ducting, and in that 4 feet of ducting I've got an airflow probe that is measuring the amount of resistance that is being generated in that duct run, and that is going to my airflow gauge that I got right here. And then that is tied into this laptop, which will then display it on this screen how that hood is actually performing. So in addition to the 4-foot measurement, we're going to hook up some additional ducting, because everybody knows no home has just a 4-foot ducting. They've all got 90s, they've all got different duct runs, different types of ducting. So we're going to hook up a 90-inch or a 90-degree elbow. We're going to hook up about another 5-foot run of 8-inch ducting, another 90-degree elbow, and another approximately 5 feet of duct run. And we're going to measure it. We're going to measure it at the 4 feet, then we're going to measure it at what amounts to approximately 30 feet of ducting, and finally, we're going to add the enemy of airflow, the dreaded wall cap or roof cap. So what we're doing is really simulating what an actual installation may look like in someone's home, and we're going to document how each of the 3 hoods performs at each of those 3 duct runs. We've got installed on our counter the low pressure blower. This hood is designed to be a little bit quieter. We'll see how it does, that quiet blower does, when we start to add more and more restriction to it. This is a company that happens to talk about, because they don't have a traditional filter system installed, that a competitive hood would need to perform, you would need to install a hood with a much higher blower CFM to get similar type performance. So we're really going to test that in this scenario. So what I'm going to do is turn this hood up to high. I'm then going to start my measurement. So with our first measurement at 4 feet of 8-inch ducting, you can see we're performing at approximately 560 CFM just with 4 feet of ducting, basically a dream installation. Now I'm going to have my colleague install the 90-degree elbow, the 5 feet of ducting, the 90-degree elbow, and the 5 feet of ducting for the equivalent of 30 feet of duct run, and we'll see how the hood performs. This is going to be much more in line with the type of installation that you're going to see in an actual home. So our installation is now complete. You can see that we're now performing at just under 500 CFM. So you've done your due diligence, you've looked at the cooking application that your client is looking at, and you've said they need a 600 CFM hood. Well, we've got approximately 30 feet of ducting, no roof cap, no wall cap yet, and your client is already only getting 500 CFM worth of performance. My colleague is now going to install our roof cap, and we'll see how that hood performs now. We now have our roof cap or our wall cap installed, and you can see we're now performing at approximately 430 CFM. So again, you've worked with your client, you've looked at the type of cooking appliance they're going to use, and you've said 600 CFM is what your client needs to get strong odor and smoke removal. 430 is the performance that your client is actually getting. What does that mean? That means your client is going to have their hood on high a lot more often to get any type of real air movement to get that odor and smoke out of the kitchen, which is really what we're trying to do. That becomes really important because although a low pressure blower tends to be a little quieter, this is disruptive. And the kitchen is a very social place now. We have people over for dinner parties now in the kitchen. We design open concept kitchens so everybody can sit around the island, can sit where we're doing the cooking, and we can have conversations, whether we're having a sparkling water or a beer or a drink or a glass of wine. We're doing all that and we're conversing that entire time. I don't need my hood running on high at this sound level, only getting 430 CFM. I'm gonna have it up here a lot. I'm gonna have to strain my voice to talk to all of my guests. Just makes for a less than desirable experience at our dinner party.